Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Local Pundit. I'm Josh Anthony. This is your Wrexham latest news and update show, The Breakfast Club. Yes, and we kind of have some breaking rumor news coming out that we're going to report. And as you can see on the thumbnail, it does include our talisman, Paul Mullin. Yes, there's some reports coming out for Peter O'Rourke. Peter O'Rourke, who I literally was just messaging on X to see if he wants to come on, and I dropped him the link. So we might get firsthand. So yes, there's a little bit of news coming out about Paul Mullin possibly going on loan to Wigan. So we're going to talk about that, talk about the transfer talk to TAC and then what that would mean, why he might be going on loan and not being sold. But and then I also want to tie this into an article that was on the Leader Live about basically like maybe us moving on a little bit, and has to go with like Les Reed, who has our who's basically having his say about what we're doing to improve the squad. So yeah, let's dive into this real quick. But please smash a like on the video, subscribe to the Local Pundit if you haven't subscribed already. On our way to 3,001 by the start of the next season, then 50,001 if you know, you know, and like I said, I'm literally messaging Peter O'Rourke right now to see if he'll come on. He has the link. If he comes on, that'll be awesome. But let's dive into this right now. So he just put out an X or tweet, whatever you want to call it, right there. Pete O'Rourke, Wigan are in advanced talks to sign Wrexham star Paul Mullin on loan. Okay, I'm going to pull that down. That went out about 11:21, about an hour ago. Okay, that went out about an hour ago. So what this means. So let's break this down. So listen, I don't think it's pub talk when Pete O'Rourke has a great background, worked at Sky Sports, and he's one of the most respected journalists out there. I think he has like, how many followers does he have? Because this is what's important these days. He has on X, he has, one second. He has, come on, be nice, touching buttons here. 150,000 followers on X. So he's got a following on him too. By the way, I forgot to say hi to everybody. Hello, everybody. How are you? Who got first? Carol's here first. Free Pugs is here, and he's in the cupboard. I don't know what that means, but Ruth's here. Christopher Camelia's here. I think you're new. I guess so. I don't know. And Esteban's up in here, and Chicky's here. And what's going on, Aaron? Aaron, you pumped me to do this, so this is why we're doing it. Peter is rarely ever wrong, says Fez Bob. I like that, Fez Bob. Okay, well, let's talk about it. If he pops in, he's going to come and tell us. He's going to come and tell us from his words. But okay, so the talks are apparently active. Advanced talks for Mullin to go to Wigan. Now, like I said, this is interesting because it's not going to be a sale. It'll be a loan, and there's reasons why I think that'll happen, and I'll talk about it really quickly. If it was a permanent deal, it would be about 150 to 250,000 pounds. A little bit more than what you'd expect to get for, I don't know, a Dalby or whoever, somebody like that. But Dalby's already signed. Okay, but Mullin's signed to 2027, so he is expected to be here. He does have a contract. Now, I know last week they did the episodes with Mullin and Palmer, and maybe there was something to that. You never know. I mean, listen, the evolution of the story is always happening. So we see things like, it's kind of like a soap opera. It's like, oh, we see them, talking and having their moment and talking about it. There might not be some, things don't happen. Things don't happen not for a reason. So maybe this is why this all happened in the show last week. I don't know. They got to produce the shows and get that out. What's going on, Matt Al, my guy? How you doing? Good to see you, my friend. So here's one of the reasons why. There's a business deal behind this, not just in football. He has performance bonuses. Paul Mullin does, and he has high wages. Okay, and Wigan might not be able to afford it. Now, Wigan are a big club. They're not a small club, but they're a big club. But maybe they don't want to fully cover it on a permanent deal. Also, too, Mullin's coming off, I would say, 2 seasons of injuries now, which aren't his fault, with the rib injury, then with the back injury. We've known that's been a little bit trying for him to get back on the pitch and get back to full fitness, And then we signed 2 great strikers, and now 3 as well. And now 3, we got Ryan Hardy coming in, and we got other players that are literally ahead of him in the pecking order. We don't want to hear that because he is royalty. Right? He's Wrexham royalty, period, end of story. So, a loan allows Wigan to basically like hedge their bets a bit like that, so they're not expected to have a long-term commitment. Maybe he does recapture form. Maybe Mullin does recapture form and he scores goals for him. And that's good for everybody. That's good for us. We want to sell him on, or maybe bring him in back in January. I don't know, but it doesn't the money thing, injuries, and make sure that he is getting back to fitness, and he's back to being the player that we knew is Wigan. So that's why I think a loan move will make sense. Also, too, again, there might be a long game here. Maybe Wrexham are not. This is the chat's going to go chatting right now. Maybe Wrexham aren't quite done with Mullin. We are evolving, but a loan keeps the door open for possible return. Okay, and also maybe a bigger sale down the road if he does well, if he gets into the rhythm back to scoring goals like we know. I'm not saying he might. I'm not saying we're going to bring him back to the Prem. You never know. And him saying I would love to get an opportunity to play in the Championship in the other day in the documentary is heartfelt, and it just pulls on the string. So maybe it just keeps that door open. A little bit of hope. Shit, I want hope every day. But there's a little bit of hope there too. So again, this is all just we're kind of speculating, but we're going off Pete. What's he say? Peter O'Rourke. It was a very credible source out there. So we'll see. So there's also that squad transition that's going on right now too. Let's say we go into next season and we don't sign any more strikers and we have more injury crisis and we need to possibly get back. This is why loan might be good. I don't think that'll happen, but that's probably a little bit of the stretch that basically they could always open to recall him in January. I don't think that'll happen. Listen, Mull's 30 years old. He's a classic center forward. Hold on, I'm just going to check my X here and see if that is not yet. He's not coming back yet. No, I'm sorry. If he comes on, he'll come on. That'd be cool. But again, let's say he's a classic center forward. He scores goals, knows how to score goals. I know he didn't prove himself in League One. Okay, fine. That really wasn't his fault. He's coming off a major. Let me back up. He's coming off surgery, and it probably set him back a little bit too. But he can get inside the box. He is relentless. He is hardworking. He's a guy that would go out and put everything on the line for the badge for wherever he's playing. He's a good player. His mobility, injury concerns might be the only negatives there. Now the tactical fit. Going to Wigan could be interesting. Maloney uses a single striker system, so he could be up there by himself, and his hold up play is pretty good. And he can also get through balls and take balls down. He's really good at that. So he's a natural number 9. He will fit into that system. If he's surrounded by speed and width, getting balls into the box for him, good. But he's not. I wouldn't say he's like a Ollie Palmer header, but he can get his head on balls. But if he has speed around him in that system, he'll be okay. And also, too, added experience and added goals. Paul Mullin is a winner, is a proven winner, and knows how to score goals. Now, take it for what you will. You got to say, it's not League One quality, whatever. He can score goals. But what say you in the chat, too? I know I'm kind of just getting it out right now to everybody. But let me see what your chat. Do you think this is a good move? Do you think there's credibility behind it? Do you think this is possibly going to go? I want to get your thoughts. BJ says, my heart's bummed about this. My brain totally understands. Yeah, I mean, BJ, I totally get it, man. We'll kick those tires later on tonight. Ruth H says he needs playing time. He does. As hard as it would be to see him go, he needs to be on the pitch, and he does. I know he does. I'm going to sneeze in 2 seconds here. 1 second. Hold on. I just talked myself out of it. Okay, I talked myself out. There we go. It'll come back. Chris says, we're going to loan one up, and Palmer will stay. Just watch. Chris. Oh, I mean, yeah. I don't think so, but yeah. Mel and Lionel said, hi everybody. How you doing? Behave yourself, Al. What's Al saying? Like poop in real. I don't know what that means, Matt, but I'm saying hi to you, my friend, and I want to know a little bit more about it. I want to know a little bit more about it too. Fez Bob says, I think it'll happen, but I'm gutted. I know, but listen, this is all going to tie into the next thing I'm going to talk about this article out of the Leader. But and I'll say this too. Paul Mullin does have locker room value. He does have locker room value. He has experience. He has some grit. He's got the swagger about him. He can score goals. Any young player that's looking up to him in the Wigan side will be like, oh, that guy I want to look up to. So all the intangibles are there. On our side of things, listen, a symbolic, legend leaving, it's a big departure. Now, it's still a loan move, but it just means we're evolving. Tactically, it's logical. It makes sense. How far down the pecking order is he now? Is he going to get on the pitch? He wants to score. He wants to go out and play football. So I get it. It's going to be hard, but it does make sense. It does clear space for other players to come in, not just strikers, but also, getting that wage off, whatever it would be. Maybe we're covering some of it. I don't know, but just getting other players in and evolving the squad. I mean, Hardy coming in was a big one too. Getting rid of I know these are like Fletcher. There you go, things like that. But it's a loan. It's smart business, in my opinion, if that happens. And once you start going up to leagues like this, this will happen. Loans will come in. I know Parkey doesn't really like loans, but hey, AO worked out pretty good as a loan. But this is starting to get smart business, so we can get to where we need to be and figure it out. So I like it. Listen, I will say, I don't know Peter personally. He did message me back. If he comes on, we'll sort it out. We'll get him on and have his say and see what else he has. If I can't get him on today, I will get him on in the next couple of days and do that. But his track record is real. In the chat, they said he's rarely wrong. But we'll see what happens. Let's just watch this space, and it could benefit all parties. And it's not a goodbye forever. It's just a farewell for now. Okay. So I think this is good. What do you guys think in the chat, guys and gals think in the chat? Should they cash in now and sell Paul Mullin, or you think the loan move is the right way to go? Just let me know. I want to know what you think. Get into chat. I want to know your thoughts, and we'll go out from there. What happens if he goes on tour and has a standout performance? Well, that's a great shout right there, Matto. That's a really, really good shout. Really good shout. And if he does, that's good for him. He might not still be in the plans, though, Matt. He might not still be in the plans, but it's good for all parties. We want everyone to do well. We don't want anyone to go and be shit. No, we want them to do well. So it's a good shout. It's a good question, Matt, Al, too. As much as I don't want to see him go, I also know he probably won't get any playing time. So a move away is the best move, I think. That's probably the best way to sum it up right there. I mean, Aaron, philosophy, Aaron, there you go. Hanging upside down. Weldon cars, whatever he's doing. I think that's a really good shot right there. Good to see you, my friend. DMP sounds. Mullen got us up. He would not be in the championship. We would not be in the championship. What do you think? He didn't get us up last season, brother. He didn't get us up last season. He barely had anything to do it. He got us up out of League Two and in the National League. But yeah, that was, I mean, we're living off memories, and yeah, he's good. I don't know if he had anything to do with last season too. Everyone will say he didn't play anyone. Al, there you go. Scott's that's Chris. Like, okay, that's fair enough there. It's good. It's good conversation there about Mullin, playing in the summertime. Looking at our signings up front, I would say that weirdly, there is more of a squad place for Palmer than there is for Mullin. Wow, good shout, Scott. I don't think it'll happen, but it's a good shout. It's a good shout. Sasha's in the house. What's going on? Sasha, the guy that does all of our stats for live watch-alongs, everything, does the carousel and everything, is back in the house. He's been a member for 4 months. How you doing, Sasha? We got to touch base. How are you? Good to see you. Absolute legend in the chat right there. Carol and HR. Loan seems like the easiest possible scenario for everyone. Yeah, the easiest possible, best scenario for everyone. I like that. And bonjour, Sasha. And Aaron got off work early today. Wow. There you go. Welcome to Aaron being off work early. We do have a show later on today at 3:00. It is a members only show. We're going through, it's part of the Champ Chat series, and we're going through a few teams later. So make sure you become a member of the Local Pundit to watch that. And we're doing, I think, Stoke City, Derby, and Preston North End, which should be fun. Free Pugs. I like the idea of sending him on loan. Give him some playing time. Who knows if we can get him back for inform? Maybe. Yeah. Maybe we'll get it back in form. Voice text is failing you. Yeah, don't do it. It's on loan. Okay, I get it. All right. So get your things in the chat. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think it's going to happen, when it will happen. Will he make the tour? It will be before the tour. Should it be a sale or a loan? Now, I'm tying this into the article. Into the article that was on. Let me find it real quick. About Les Reed. And by the way, big credit shout out to Pete O'Rourke. For that tweet. If he comes on, awesome. I just want to give him full credit for that. And it's good. It's good that he got back to us, but let's see if he gets on. So this is going to go on to a leader article that I want to bring up real quick and then I'll talk about. Is Wrexham want to go further, says transfer advisor Les Reed. So this came as of yesterday. And Wrexham talent spotter Les Reed has been talking about kind of players Phil Parkinson will be looking out for this summer. So let's take this down. Obviously, we just signed Ryan Hardy, who I think is a fantastic addition. And everyone's talking about our ceiling or our basement. I don't care. He's a great signing, proven goal scorer. absolute proven goal scorer. 12 goals last year and a side that went down in Plymouth Argyle. Okay. So if let me see what I just lost my notes. I had notes. But tying this into that article and bringing it here, talking about the Mullin thing, it's like, okay, it's the changing of the guard. Look at it. Hardy in, Mullin out. Now, I'm not saying that in a way like I think poorly of Mullin. These are just the facts that we're running through here. It's Les Reed is the top transfer advisor for Wrexham, and the club's ambition and direction and the recruitment policies he's had a chat about, and they're trying to. I think we have to deal with also like the shift in the emotional aspect of it, and also the moving Wrexham into a modern era. Parkinson moving into a modern era, and with the potential leaving of Paul Mullin to Wigan, that kind of says it. People are going to be leaving. Don't think that other players aren't going to go. That we're not going to care about. Whether it be a Mendy, or I'm just calling up players that I think might be going. A Mendy, someone mentioned O'Connell, Stash, players like that, and Evans, Palmer again. Just don't think that's that things aren't going to happen. But then we're getting to the start of this too. In the interview, in the leader, Les Reed did make it clear that this isn't about sentimental signings and giving veterans a lap of honor. I know that's hard to take. We're preparing for the championship, the toughest league, the toughest test we're going to have. If we have a clear strategic goal, not survival and be competitive to possibly go up, we have to make these solid changes. We have to evolve. Now, goes on to say, it's not a swan song land for players. We are having one or more goal before they retire, Reed says. Parkinson is pushing for younger, athletic, and hungry players who can grow with the club and not just enjoy the ride. And that is the hard part, tying it back to the Mullin thing and the Palmer thing and all the sentiment, because we do have the behind the scenes look that we get from Welcome to Wrexham. Let's be honest. Not all Sunderland Till I Die, things like that. The Birmingham City show that's going to come out, all that. We have the ability to connect with these players on a different level and hear their stories, which is awesome for us. So that's what makes it harder for us to lose players and to evolve, to accept the fact that, hey, listen, we're going to the championship, we're trying to get to the Prem, and everyone's gunning for us. These are the things that are gonna have to evolve. Listen, Paul Mullin is a cult hero. He's been the heartbeat of us in the last couple seasons, not last season so much. And we're rooting for him, even though he wasn't on the pitch. We were rooting for him. And then Les bringing out. Let's be honest, he's 30 years old, and Mullin may not fit into what Reed is talking about with Parkinson's new mold. Now, take that for what you will. People call Parkinson. They're saying, Jurassic Parky. Well, you know what? Take that, shove it up. You know what? And get out of here. That's BS. I look what we did all season. It was consistency. It was hard work. It was grit. It was experience, which is, I think, what we're going to do in the championship. And I think those are the players with Les Reed we're talking about. But he is right about one thing for sure. We have to get more athletic. And this might be that symbolic pivot of where we're headed toward that too. Again, going back to having Mullin leave, that's a good move. Okay. We can't offer a guy like Mullin minutes. We just can't. We didn't do it in League One. We're not going to do it now. So think of it as you will. Maybe we're moving out some of the cult heroes to get to tactical evolution. What do you think about that? We're getting rid of the cult heroes and getting to a tactical evolution. Just checking my thing here to see if he's gonna come on. Sorry, okay, not him. So take that for what you will. And the significance of the Ryan Hardy signing actually goes with that too. But what see you? Hazard says, I hope they shock us with the next signing, Chris. I think they will. Hazard's here as well. And Aaron says, do you know when Wrexham JC? Yes, it's next Thursday, which we will be having a show doing the release. Next Thursday will be the release of the fixtures. So that's I'm traveling from Texas to Wrexham in September and I'm hoping to catch the match international break early September. Hey, Ron, yes, the fixture release is the 26th. We will be doing a lot. I don't think it'll be a live show, but we'll be doing a live show. But not going to be at 1:00 in the morning. But we'll do that. So there you go. So it's next Thursday. Just get ready for that. The day before, I'll get to that in a second because I want to finish this article, but I have something to say about next week as well. So if we're moving on and we're getting to a proven championship squad, these all signals point to the intent that we're going to grow. And what Les Reed is saying, this all says, hey, listen, Parkinson got a hardy guy. He says he can do it in the championship. We need guys that can do it in the championship. Now, that is going to be the difficulty of getting guys that have done it in the championship, maybe want to drop down. I think we will do well with that. But we're targeting youth. We're targeting athleticism. I'm sure we'll have some older statesmen there too. But harshly said, it's not about vibes anymore. Now it's about results. Not that it always hasn't been. I know we have those intangibles with having a great locker room and Parkinson, going after players that, all good core. But I think there's going to be a little, Parkinson might shift away a little bit. And this is what I'm gathering from Les. He might shift away a little bit because we have to take a couple more big swings, I'm not saying we're not going to get guys that won't fit into the locker room. A couple more big swings of players that money will come involved, so we're gonna have to balance that out. It's gonna be hard, our fee structure probably will change a little bit too as we move forward because you're gonna get more athletic getting into this league. So it's gonna be a very interesting evolution right here. I think maybe the bigger story with both of these articles and the possible Mullin going to Wigan is like we're shedding the sentiment structure, and that's hard to take. It's hard to take. It really is, especially because we know so much about them. So I don't know. I really appreciated this. If you didn't go through this, go check it out. Another quote here says, "We're also trying to build a club and a team that can go further. So there's difficult decisions to make," says Les Reed, and they're definitely aiming high, says Les Reed. We mustn't lose that aspiration and momentum because we do have momentum now. We're back to back now, going for it. We're not by any means predicting that we're going to go to the Premier League, Les says, but we don't want to just go, okay, the journey is over. We're in the championship. Let's stabilize, consolidate. I would take stabilize and consolidate. That was last summer that was said. Take that, get rid of it. That's not going to happen. I think we're going to go for it. Doesn't mean we'll get up there, but I think we're going to go for it. With all the things that we're going here, I was saying right here for Les Reed in this article, connecting it back to the sentiment, connecting it back to the Mullin, I think we're going for it here. He said we need to get through this window with some good recruitment and establish ourselves. We do. We're not an established championship team. We're not. We're ripping through the leagues like I'm not going to use that analogy. We're ripping through the leagues. I almost went there. I held it back. I held back. It had to do with wedgies. Okay, but he said, but maybe we're going to be a challenger, i.e., a good season. Can we get into the playoffs? Question mark. I think we can. I think that's it. Obviously we have James McLean, Jay Rodriguez, and Fletcher just left, but they provide experience. But we need players with experience and also that can score in the championship and also defend and pass the ball. I think one of the things we're going to go after as a cam, I think that's going to be our biggest signing. That and a defender. So also I like this too. He says, last quote here. He says, our ambition will be to drive the average age down, but at the same time remain competitive. See that? We can't just go, oh, that's it. We're going for younger players. A couple of clubs recently did that, and I won't mention their names, and it hasn't worked out. You need the mix. So what is that secret sauce? What is the secret sauce? What is that secret sauce that we're going to do having the players come in? I think if we get that correct, I think we're going to do very, very well. 110 in here, by the way. Please smash a like on the video if you haven't already. Please smash that like button. It's great. Jurassic Parky. Aaron, where in Texas are you? Sorry, just going back to good morning, SoCal. What's going on, my friend? And yeah, okay, talking about that. But okay, what say you about the Les article about us getting that balance right between age and getting through the fact losing some of that sentiment? I know it's going to be hard, but we got to get through this. We have to figure this out. And it's fun times right now. Enjoy this right now because it's not always going to be this way. But, it's June 19th right now. It's June 19th. And we still have, about, I don't know, almost 2 months left to go. Preseason, everything that's going to happen, tour, all that stuff. We still have a long way to go. So, all this stuff is all kind of coming to fruition. But top of the line, going back up, Pete O'Rourke is saying that Paul Mullin is in advanced talks to go to Wigan on loan. So there we go. Bono, Colorado, off topic, but I saw Ben Foster interview where he mentioned that he will be joining the team in Australia. Yes, that might be the layover. That's possibly the layover. Bono and Coronado. I don't know. I didn't see that though. Hazard says, homegrown art, young players, Asheville Max, and the new generation. And we got standards for the youth. I agree with you there too. And speaking of standards, last thing we're going to cover today too is next Friday night. If you're in Los Angeles or planning on going to Los Angeles, there is a awesome event happening here at the Arrow Cinema in Santa Monica. Welcome to Wrexham, to the Arrow Theater. Q&A. We broke this yesterday. Q&A. Executive producers and showrunner Jeff Luini, Josh Driscoll, Brian Rowland, executive producer Andy Thomas, and co-executive producer Cody Shelton will be having a Q&A because they'll be showing the last 2 episodes. There's an episode tonight, by the way. Welcome to Wrexham. Episode tonight, which is episode 407, Life or Death. And then next week, they'll be showing a finale of both of them at the event. Do a Wrexham episode 408, which I hear is absolutely awesome. So the event is next week. FX Boardwalk Pictures presents the screening of 407 and 408, doing a Wrexham. So get that RSVP here. I will drop it in the link in the chat again. I'll drop it in link again. So if you're planning on coming, cool. I should be there, and I should be there for that. But it's going to be a great event. I'm excited. It's the Arrow Theater in Montana Ave in Santa Monica. So obviously we know about the series. We just want to put this out there. So let's get out there, come in, go watch. I'm excited to go see these last 2 episodes. I'll probably watch the one tonight, but it's going to be exciting to go there and be around everyone in that environment to go watch those last 2 episodes. So putting that out there for everybody if you're around. Matt Al says the article contradicted what he said in the iPaper. It's difficult to know what's actually the club's stand on age and ability. Okay, good shout right there. Good shout. And Fezbah says, as anyone goes to the Welcome to Wrexham event, can you ask them to correct my name in the episode subtitles? I don't want to confuse with I don't know what that is, Fezbah. But okay. I joined late. Is the Mullin thing a real Pete O'Rourke? I'll bring it back up before we get out of here, my friend. This is it right here. The tweet. That's it right there. Wrexham are in advanced talks to sign Wrexham star Paul Mullin on loan. So very, very credible source. Pete O'Rourke. Pete O'Rourke is a very, very credible source. And we're getting a rumor mill video from local pundit sometime in the future. Yes, we'll be on that too, my friend. And Josh, while you're watching the finale, if you see someone who looks like you but wasn't walking around the pitch, after just pull your hat down low. Okay. Am I in trouble? Oh my God. That's kind of terrifying to hear. And Sean Deasy says, hey lads, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. And last one here, Raymond Blood, if he starts scoring, he'll be back at the race course. You never know. You never know. Okay. All right. Get out of here. Get into the chat. Let me hear your thoughts. Smash that like button. Share it out. Get it out there. Get it out there. And let's get to 3,000. But this is interesting news. We'll cover it. If anything breaks, we'll be there. Remember the member show later. Champ Chat, start of that is on Sunday as well. So all fun stuff. All fun stuff. Really great. So, and on that bombshell, we'll see y'all soon.